Well, hi there, Internet. My name's Court, and you've got courtside seats for my review of the brand new Netflix, A Quiet Bird Box. Let's do it. The Silence is a horror film from director John R. Leonetti and Netflix. Based on the novel of the same name by Tim Lebbon, the movie stars Stanley Tucci, Kiernan Shipka, Miranda Otto, Kate Trotter, John Corbett, and Kyle Breitkopf. A family struggles to survive in a world terrorized by a deadly primeval species who hunt only with their acute hearing. So I joked off the top about Bird Box and A Quiet Place, and it is a fair comparison, because there are a lot of similarities here. Yes, this is based on a book that came out before A Quiet Place, but after the book that Bird Box was based on. And I'm not saying anybody ripped off anybody else here, I'm just saying it's hard to ignore the resemblances. I will also say of those three movies, this one is by far the weakest. And I don't have a lot of good to say about this flick, but I will say the acting is quite strong, so let's talk about that first. Our lead character, Allie, is played by Kiernan Shipka, who I'm not terribly familiar with, but apparently she's Sabrina on The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, so that's cool. And I really liked her in the film. She was the character that I found I was most connected to, and she really had my interest throughout. I liked Miranda Otto, as I always do, and John Corbett does what John Corbett does best: be likable. And of course, Stanley Tucci is fantastic in this movie, because he's the Tooch. When all else fails, always bet on the Tooch. He'll get you through in a pinch. But the biggest problem with this movie is by far the writing. It's just not good. It feels like a first draft, like the writers wrote out, okay, here's essentially what we want the characters to be saying. We'll come back and we'll tweak it and we'll make it nice. And then they forgot. There's a scene in the beginning of the movie where they're all watching the news, and this is when the bad stuff has just started happening. And the newscaster goes, "Don't make any noise." And John Corbett's character goes, "Don't make any noise? What does that mean?" Yes. What could that possibly mean? Why must you be so vague, newscaster? The dialogue is really hokey, and the film sets up these character traits that eventually just get cast aside and completely forgotten about. And the visual effects in this movie are brutal. Like, I didn't like the design of the creatures. They were kind of goofy, but I can get past that. The actual animation looked bad. It looked fake, particularly when there was any interaction between a VFX character and a real person. That's always the hardest thing to do in VFX, but oh boy, it looked bad. And I get this movie didn't have a huge budget, but when you don't have a huge budget, you know your effects aren't going to be that good. There are ways to hide the shortcomings, and it's like they didn't even try. And the third act just really loses focus. Another threat is introduced, and its motivations are only somewhat established, and it really just doesn't work. And the ending is incredibly abrupt. It's just like, oh, okay, so we're here now, okay? Gotcha. Now again, this is based on a book, but there are a couple of moments in this movie that are really reminiscent of Bird Box, and there's one moment towards the end that's straight up out of A Quiet Place. I get you want to stay true to the book, but you can make changes if you need to, and you know those movies came out, and you know those movies were both really successful and a lot of people saw them, so maybe tweak some stuff. Like, I don't recommend The Silence. I didn't like it very much. I thought it was kind of goofy. I thought it was rather dull. I didn't find any of it scary at all. But the Tooch was good. But hey, that's just me. If you decide to watch it, I really hope you like it. I don't have a proprietary rating system as of yet, so I'm just trying to figure out what I'm going to give The Silence, and I think I'm going to give The Silence a out of 10. So now I want to know, have you seen The Silence? What did you think about it? What is your favorite horror movie of the year so far? Whatever your thoughts, hit the comments below. Let's discuss. If you enjoyed this review, please smash that like button and give it a share if you really enjoyed it. And hey, why not take a second, do me a favor, click subscribe and ring that bell to subscribe to my channel for more movie reviews, entertainment news, trailer reactions, all that good stuff. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.